Right, this is a little video for the Mark III Mondeo TDCI 2.2 TDCI ST. Um, yeah, most diesels are the same, it doesn't really matter which model it is, but they all suffer from, the diesel models this is, they all suffer from auxiliary belt tensioners going loose, belt stretch, they slip, and it's all down to, or one of the main reasons is down to this standard pulley. So the idea is, the mod is to change the standard pulley for a clutch pulley. So the clutch pulley will spin freely in one direction but not another. So when it's driving, that's locked in and it'll drive the alternator, but as soon as it's not driving, i.e. the power is taken off the engine, like in between gear changes and stuff, at that point a lot of tension is put on the belt and the tensioner, which is when they start failing after a while. So it's a bit of a pain of a job to do, just annoying really. It's not hugely difficult, it's just yeah, a bit annoying, a bit time consuming. So I've done mine probably 3 times now. So I'm going to try this mod and see if it improves it, so I don't have to keep doing it, keep changing it. And like anything else, if it's decent parts you're changing it with, it's going to cost you. The belt tensioner kit at the moment, I'm looking at SKF, which is going to be the cheapest I can find at the moment is about 115. Gates do a kit as well, I think that's about 125. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about SKF, so I'm going to try that one next time. So yeah, first thing to do is get the standard pulley off. I found the best way to do it is to get yourself H8 Allen key socket like that, 24mm ring spanner on the nut, get your Allen key socket on the spindle of the alternator, and then if you get your ratchet, get a 1/2 inch ratchet, long handle preferably if you've got one, because this is tight. So if you wedge the 24mm spanner against the bench, or you've got it in a bench like I've got it in a vise like I've got it, and then undo it like that, easier said than done, because it, like I say, it is tight. Soak that, leave that to soak with some penetrating fluid overnight if you can, in between the nut and the thread of the alternator shaft. That might make life a little bit easier for you. That's what I did, and it came off not too bad. I did struggle a little bit to begin with, but yeah, it is tight. So once you got it loose, wind it off, get the standard pulley off, and what you'll see, I've already done this one pretty much. There was a lip under there on the casing of the alternator, so basically to accept the new clutch pulley, you have to get rid of that lip. You have to grind it or file it off. I didn't want to grind it with an angle grinder because I thought I'd be a bit aggressive, and I think I'd be liable to make too many mistakes, i.e. hitting the shaft or taking too much off of the casing. I just want to take the time and do a neat job of it. So what I did is I went round it quite gently with a file. I used the safe edge of the file on towards the shaft like that. I also put a bit of tape around the shaft as well, just to protect it a little bit. And I just gently gone around. As you can see, the file is now touching the case of the alternator, so I've pretty much taken everything that I can off without filing the case of the alternator, as you can see. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's fairly flush now, there's not a lot left on there at all. Also, I stuffed a bit of tissue in there. I don't know if you can see that, because behind that tissue there's a bearing, so I don't really want to get filings into that bearing. Just try and keep the job as clean as possible, really. So yeah, try and give you a better view from the side. As you can see, that's now quite flush. Didn't take me that long, not really. Just get a bit of tissue out. And then obviously all this can come off, and hopefully leave you with a swarf-free alternator and bearings. So yeah, got to wait for the new clutch pulley. But once it arrives, I'll have a go at test fit it. So this is a second-hand alternator I've got off of somebody, and the alternator is still on the car. So the job the alternator I want to fit it to is still on the car. This is just a spare one I've got. I just want to do a bit of a trial run on. So yeah, once the part turns up, once the freewheel pulley turns up, I'll be doing anger to the alternator on the car, changing the belt, tensioner and jockey wheels all at the same time. Hopefully the alternator on the car is alright. I think this one's okay. It runs quite smooth. Don't really want to take a chance with an old alternator. I mean, if the worst comes to the worst, I'll have to fit this one, you know, if I find the one on the car's at it. I'm just trying to keep costs down as much as I can, because the new alternator for this thing's, you know, well over 100 quid. Depends what you want. If you want a cheap aftermarket one, you could probably get them for up to 100 quid, anywhere around 100 quid. If you want a decent one, you've got to start talking, you know, 150, 200 quid even. So, and then you include the price of the tensioner and the belt, the kit, that's another 125, and then the freewheel pulley, the clutch pulley, that's another 50 quid. So the clutch wheel pulley is INA, I think it's a German make, they make bearings. So yeah, you're talking, you know, 350 quid if you want to replace the alternator as well, if you want to do the whole lot, the belt tensioner kit, new alternator and the clutch pulley. So it's a lot of money, you know. So and plus if you send it into a garage and have this done, you'd probably be talking a couple of 100 quid labour easy, I would say, and the rest. So yeah, it's not that difficult. Quite a straightforward job, really. So once I get the clutch pulley, I'll see about installing that and perhaps do another video. Alright, until then, cheers.